This is AC Starlord 29, and welcome to my channel. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys that are watching this and going to watch this. This is my Chucky episode for this week, pre-Thanksgiving, obviously, or now that you're gonna watch this on Thanksgiving. So basically, they follow this. This episode follows right after Devin's mother's death, also Junior's mother's death, also Jake's aunt. They all are at the wake, and they all kind of Lexi and Jake and Devin all kind of break up the band. Um, Junior is concerned about his father meeting up with Tiffany. Tiffany shows up at the wake, kind of confuses Junior there for a second, and then they go to 1988 Chicago, where they both have like a date night where they're killing someone, blah 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 kind of thing, and then they have another. I'm gonna give it another flashback already. The other flashback goes back with with Tiffany trying to make Charles Way some Swedish meatballs, and then he finds out that he's been messing around with another girl, but he kills her because that's their mo, and they said we never go out and murder anymore. Basically, kind of like we never go out and to a movie, kind of like instead of a movie, go out to eat and go see a movie. It's go out to murder. It's kind of a twist on that, and then, you know, the mayor of the town, which is Lexi's mother, tries to do his Frankenstein thing and tries to tell her when the town's gonna get better, and then um, her they asked her younger daughter about what do you think about your mother if you want to be what do you think about your mother, and what do you think about becoming the next mayor of Hackensack? And she's like, well, Chucky told me to kill my mother. Who's Chucky? And then Lexi was concerned about that. Lexi and Jake kind of get back into teaming up, but before that, he runs away because they try to figure out some stuff about the Chucky. Devin wants to do that same thing too. They had a conversation about that. Why Jake stayed, all that stuff, all that good stuff, and basically he stayed because of Devin. But Devin goes and investigates Charles Zouvet's old childhood home, and who he happens to find is Nika slash Chucky, and well, there we go. In the crosshairs with that, he's trying to tase her, but she ends up tasing him. Blah blah blah. All that good stuff. Here's the thing that really got me. While Junior also were uh, Lexi and Jake are getting back together in a band, trying to and formulate things. Lexi tells Jake, like, look, he can transform his body into multiple different Chucky dolls. You see that later on in this episode. But what really got me was Junior's a psychopath. He's a real psychopath. He waits for his dad to come back home from a drunken stupor, and then he's talking. Before all that, he's talking to Chucky, and Chucky kind of sensed that he had a killer in him, and they were having a conversation. Even when Jake was running away, he heard a conversation. Even his own father heard a conversation with Chucky, and then Chucky, doesn't act like like he's not a doll anymore. He acts like he's going to do an action, but basically he's like, I don't need to mean the things that I said about your mother. Your mother loved you, blah blah blah. Chucky goes around just like sits right next to Junior, just like, oh, all casual, like normal. Then his eyes are flipping, like he blinks his eyes, all that and stuff like that. And then he does that, hi, I'm Chucky. Do you want to play kind of voice? But he just like, hi, I'll be your best friend forever, and I like hugs. And then he talks about how his brother and him are losers, like Lucas Logan, the loser twins. And then Junior's holding Chucky, and Chucky's like tells him to get your effing hands off me, and he's like, oh well, who's the other person you're with, Dad? And insults Chucky and then he insults the dad, his dad, and he's like, the dad's like, give me Chucky, and then he's like, no, and then the funny thing about this is that Junior ends up killing him with Chucky, and Chucky's like, whoa, like you see a camera angle of his face going, oh yeah, He kills them with Chucky, actual Chucky. He beats his head in with Chucky. I didn't know Chucky's head was that hard. Um, and then when Jake and by that time Jake and Lexi was figuring all that stuff out, we now know Devin kidnapped by Nika Chucky. Nika Chucky puts him in a room with a whole bunch of different other Chuckies trying to take over Hacky Sack. Also, the fact that the Sweet Meatballs came back around because she also visit Jake. I mean, also visit Junior again before. I talked about his father being killed, but yeah, the Swiss Meatballs come back around from back to 1988, and then also on top of this, we're gonna see a showdown from Andy Barkley eventually, because Andy Barkley leaves Kyle at a gas station because he wanted to change out drivers, and because he cares for Kyle and he doesn't want her to get hurt, and she has a family and all that stuff. But the thing is, what you need to get out of this, now Lexi and Jake are trying to rescue Devin, and also that, also Chucky's like, finally, one of you little monsters. I'm not gonna say what he actually says, but you little monsters finally want to come out and play. You guys are actually want to. One of you guys actually want to play with me. I'm actually trying to get so many kids for so many years to play the child's play with me, but no one wants to. And then Andy Barkley ends up showing up at Junior's house, and now the real fun can begin. And also, what I found for pointers for this, that the actor who plays Andy Barkley is actually from Hackensack, New Jersey, so that's kind of cool. But also on top of that is this cycle version of Junior that we never get to see. He also punches out Jake at the wake because he thinks he's a curse, all that stuff, and it's just a whole bunch of things happening. Even when Lexi's sister, Chucky also wanted Lexi to kill her mother, Lexi, and everyone around. He's even trying to get